The epic of Mahabharat begins with King Shantanu of Hastinapur. One day, he came across Ganga when he was taking a walk by the river. She was the epitome of beauty and grace. It was love at first sight for Shantanu, and guess what? He went ahead and proposed a marriage. Ganga agreed. He was the king. But she put in a condition. King Shantanu should never question her, no matter what she does. Else, she will leave him. The king just wanted to get married to her, so he agreed hastily. Bad idea. Ganga soon gave birth to a beautiful baby boy, but before Shantanu could even see him, she drowned her own child in a river. Shantanu's heart sank, but he couldn't question her or she leaves. Soon, the next son was born, and Ganga did the same. And then again, and then again. When the eighth son was born, Shantanu couldn't take it anymore, and he finally questioned her. That is when Ganga revealed that she was a goddess, and her sons were cursed to a lifetime of suffering in human form, which is why she drowned them and lifted the curse. She left a broken Shantanu with their eighth son, Devavrat, who would eventually be known as Bhishma Pitama. According to Mahabharat, there were 8 celestial beings, the elemental gods called Vasus. These 8 Vasus were traveling with their wives when they came across Guru Vasishtha's ashram. The great sage wasn't there, but his beloved cow Nandini stood outside. Now Vasu Prabhas's wife was enchanted by the cow. She wanted her. So Prabhas urged the rest of the Vasus to steal Nandini. Bad idea. When sage Vasishtha found his beloved cow stolen, he got pissed and declared a curse that the 8 Vasus will be born as humans and endure a lifetime of suffering. The Vasus returned his cow and begged for forgiveness. Sage Vasishtha calmed down as well, but a curse is a curse and it cannot be taken back. So the sage suggested a way out. He said, "Go and request Goddess Ganga to be your mother on earth and to relieve you of your suffering as soon as you are born." But there was a catch. Since Prabhas was the mastermind behind the cow heist, he would have to live the lifetime in human form. Vasishtha did reduce his suffering, even proclaimed that he will be one of the best. But since he listened to his wife to commit the crime, he would be devoid of a wife in his next life. So, Ganga marries Shantanu on the condition he will never question her. She kills 7 boys, who return to their heavenly abode. The 8th time, Shantanu questions, so she leaves him with the Vasu, who had to spend a lifetime in human form, who went on to be known as Bhishma Pitama, and he never married a woman. King Shantanu was taking a walk by the river Yamuna when he came across a gorgeous woman who stole his breath away. She was Satyavati, the chief fisherman's daughter, who had a boon of everlasting fragrance. Shantanu lost his heart again and asked her hand in marriage. He was the king. Who could deny? But her father, the fisherman, put in a condition. Satyavati's child should inherit the throne after Shantanu. The king was disappointed. His beloved son Devavrat was being groomed for the throne, so he left with a broken heart. But Devavrat couldn't see his father in pain, so he approached the fisherman and vowed that the son of Satyavati will become the king. But the fisherman wasn't satisfied still. What if Devavrat bears a son who lays claim to the throne? And that is the day Devavrat took a vow. A vow of lifelong celibacy. Even the gods cried at his sacrifice, and it earned him the name Bhishma, the one of terrible vow. Their grandsons were Dhritarashtra and Pandu, who gave birth to Kauravas and Pandavas. King Shantanu of Hastinapur gave birth to 2 sons with Satyavati, Chitrangad and Vichitravirya. Bhishma himself groomed Chitrangad to become a great warrior and placed him on the throne. After his father passed away, he won many battles, but with each victory, his arrogance grew. Enter Gandharvas, a clan of handsome celestial beings who were generally the husbands of Apsaras. The king of Gandharvas, who was also named Chitrangad, proclaimed that there shall only be one. Both the Chitrangads fought an epic battle which went on for 3 days. But the Gandharva king finally won. With no heir, the younger brother Vichitravirya ascended the throne, but he was weak. Now Bhishma was committed to protect his family, so he set out to find him a bride. At that time, a grand Swayamvar was happening for the 3 princesses of Kashi, Amba, Ambika and Ambalika. Now Satyavati got enraged. Her son Vichitravirya, who was the king of Hastinapur, was not invited for a Swayamvar, so she told Bhishma to send them a message. Bhishma had the boon that he can choose his own death, which practically made him immortal. But little did he know that when he would go to kidnap the 3 princesses of Kashi, he would also seal his fate. How? We'll find in the next episode. When Bhishma arrived at the Swayamvar of Kashi's 3 princesses, everyone was surprised. He had taken a vow of celibacy after all. But then they grew wary when he said that he had come to take the princesses for the king of Hastinapur. Bhishma was an unmatched warrior. He defeated all the bachelors present there and took the 3 princesses, Amba, Ambika and Ambalika, for King Vichitravirya. But Amba objected. She had already given her heart to the king of Salva. Bhishma was an honorable man, so he sent her back. But the king of Salvas rejected her now. Ro's ego was hurt. Bhishma had defeated him fair and square, so he sent her back to Hastinapur. But now, the king of Hastinapur refused to marry her as well. She loved another man. His ego couldn't allow it either. So, enraged, Amba now turned to Bhishma himself. Bad idea. Bhishma raised his hands. Vow of celibacy, he couldn't marry her. So get this, Amba, the most beautiful princess of the kingdom of Kashi, was just rejected by the egos and vows of 3 bachelors. She blamed Bhishma, and now she wanted payback. In the next episode, we will learn how Bhishma, who was as good as immortal, met his end due to Amba's vengeance. Hi everyone, this is Divyansh and I've started a new series, Mahabharat in a Minute. If you are someone who's interested but does not have time to read, I've got you covered. Follow this page for daily serialized stories from the Mahabharat.